right, Mayor, how do we have millions in deferred maintenance that needs completed, but yet we have money for new building and complexes? How does that work?
Yeah, so the CIP project is meant to capture all of those projects. It's meant to capture the deferred maintenance projects that we have as a community, as well as the future needs or future considerations that we should be looking at over the next 10 years. So when we did a rough analysis of the projects that were recommended to the Assembly, roughly 60% of them had a direct deferred maintenance project. So it was repairing an existing facility, retrofitting an existing facility with repairs included in that. So we had about 60% of those projects in number, and then also about 60% in overall dollar amount were dedicated to the deferred maintenance. Some of the examples that you may see is repairs to schools. You may see repairs to existing facilities where we've done an inventory report. So it goes over heating system, electrical system, floor covering, finishes, things that after a commercial building's being used for 30 or 40 years that you need to repair. So we do have those projects listed in here, but about 40% of them are also future or expansions of facilities. So those are things that we're looking at that maybe increase the level of service that we're being able to provide as a community, or be able to do something a little bit differently.
So would you say that maybe some of this deferred maintenance is also into new buildings, so that if the life of a building is almost expired, we're turning around and putting money into a new building to help replace that building?
So when we look at our buildings, one of the things that we want to consider is what would be the overall remodel cost, and then what would be the new construction cost. When we look at a facility that's maybe 40 years old, 50 years old, it may be that it was constructed in a way that there's no way to really make it code compliant for accessibility or for even cleanliness or hygiene. And so when we look at that facility, when we look at the overall number for remodeling, it may be that it's very close to or nearing the actual new construction of the project. And so that's when we would look at constructing a new facility. Because in the end, if we remodeled a 40-year-old facility or 50-year-old facility, it would still be a 40 or 50-year-old facility. And there may be constraints to that building that we're still just not able to overcome. That's some of the methodology that we use when looking at some of these projects for deferred maintenance. You may say, why is it a new building? Can't you just fix the old one? And the answer is yes, we could, but the cost is so close to new construction that we felt it was more appropriate for us to do that new construction.
So with these new buildings, are we also putting a plan together on how to deal with future maintenance as well?
Yeah, so one of the things that the Assembly's done is they've required that 7% of the budget for the current year be proposed by the mayor include a contribution to FMR. So for us, that was roughly about $8.5 million last year that was required. We contributed more than that. The Assembly approved about $10 million to the FMR. But the intent is that over time that number increases to where we are recapitalizing our assets and budgeting for that every year. So the idea is that when we have this problem again, is that we have funding to be able to pay for these type of repairs.